Okay. I started school here 50 years ago in September, and how we came to St. Donatus is we moved from the city because of the Dan Ryan Expressway. Actually, our house is the third lane of the expressway at 59th Street. So we moved to Blue Island, and my father tasked my mother with finding a Catholic school for, there's 5 of us to go to. And she was walking home from St. Isidore's, and she met Sister Immaculata, who was here for the summer. And she introduced her, and my mother said, well, you know, we're not Italian, can we come to school, can my kids come to school there? And Sister said, sure we can. So we started school. I started kindergarten here, and I went through 8th grade. And this school was it was run like a little family. You knew everybody. Everybody knew everybody. We were the largest class because there were 36 of us. We were baby boomers, so we weren't split. But my brother Bill was in a split class. It was at 1st and 2nd together, then 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th, 7th and 8th. So those classes went together. But our class, we were the baby boomers. We were too big because there were 36 of us. So we were the only class that moved independently. We didn't ever split. And the nuns are from Blue Island. They're the Mantelate sisters. They're from over on Western Avenue. And so we always had a full staff here. We had a principal, a mother superior, and 3 or 4 teaching nuns. And they were strict, but they were loving. In a way. And they were loving. I was the goody two-shoes, so I didn't get spanked. And everything went along really well, but then when the church changed, the school closed in the 70s, and when you take the option of a school away from young couples, why live in Blue Island? What school do you go to? So the neighborhood started to change, and it's changing now. It's changing still. I still think it's a mistake not to have a school with a parish. I really do. I think it's a mistake. It takes something away from the life of a parish. If the young kids have no place to go. So I don't know what's going to happen here. I hope that this goes on and on and on, but realistically, it's not the same east side that it was. I used to be able to tell you who lived in just about every house, from the canal to 127th Street, from the park to the railroad tracks. I could tell you what family lived in every house. Of course, I was the paper boy, so it was a little easier for me, but families lived like Walnut Street over there. I always called that Labriola Lane because literally every person on that street's a Labriola. Yeah, Walnut. Walnut was Labriola Lane. I lived on Grove Street, and if you started from the tracks, there was the Brescias, Anastasia, Luciano, Peretta, DiSabato, Cirillo, and then on the other side of the street was Sassone, Susie Maroney, some more Lucianos. Who else? Denise was down there. I could tell you every family. And when I grew up here in Blue Island, we walked everywhere. We walked to school, and then I went to Eisenhower, but because we were from the east side, we weren't bused. We had to walk to school. They never sent a bus on the east side. We had to walk to Old Main and to campus, and we were the only kids who had to walk to school. There was never a bus on the east side. They would never give us a bus. We walked.
Prejudice against the
Yeah,
Italians.
they would never give us a bus.
They would. Yeah.
And if we got caught by a train because the Rock Island was busy, we would get a detention, and it was our fault for being late to school. And we had to walk to Old Main.
My mom never took a bus to school.
Yeah, we never took. There was never a bus on the east side. Never a bus.
Prejudice.
Never a bus.
They were prejudiced.
They were. They
They
were.
were prejudiced to the east side.
They were.
My mom says that too.
Yeah.
She grew up, she went to Eisenhower. She could not eat lunch. Lunchroom, she had to walk back across the tracks to the east side. My mother tells me that story.
Well, I graduated from Eisenhower in '72, and I started in '69. And because we were from the east side, we would refuse lunch service at Woolworth's. We couldn't eat at Woolworth's.
They didn't like the Italians.
Yeah. We had to come home to eat and then go back to school.
Yeah.
That was in the
When you
70s.
talk about prejudice now, it wasn't only the African American or what, it was the Italians.
And when we went shopping, if we were from the east side, they would follow us around the stores. They would leave behind their counter and they would follow us. Hearts Drugs, he may or may not have served us, depending. There are too many people in the store who wouldn't serve us. And if we went to like Woolworths or Walgreens, the people would leave their counters and follow us around the store. Klein's. We couldn't. We could buy clothes at Klein's, but we couldn't use the changing rooms. We had to bring our clothes home, and this was in the '70s. And
I worked at Klein's. I worked upstairs.
it was crazy. It was like we were more Blue Island than any of the other Blue Islanders uptown, but we felt the sting of their prejudice. We felt the sting.
Well, that's because the town was founded mostly by
Germans. Yeah.
And they were very prejudiced against and a lot of money in town, big money in Blue Island.
Yeah.
But it was German money, and they were prejudiced against any immigrant really that came over, other than theirs.
Other than that.
So we grew up with a lot of prejudice. We had a good time.
Yeah, we didn't
We had a
care.
good time. Who cared?
We would do things like, what would you do is, when I would go into Walgreens or Woolworths, because they were the worst, is I would pull things off the shelf and not buy them, but I would put them on other shelves to keep them busy. You know, like I would take something from the hair care.
You remember by the Woolworths that had the counter?
Yeah, the lunch counter, we couldn't sit at the lunch counter.
They had the best BLTs in Hart's Drug Store.
Hearts Drugs. He was mean though to us.
The two theaters, we had two theaters. But those days are gone. All we have is memories, and thank God.
I thought you were doing the dope. 3 o'clock.
No.
He's still working on the dough. Get out there, pal.
What are you doing? What is this?
On
the arm.
Oh, Jesus Christ.